Hi, and welcome back to Cooking with MoWino. So, I live in the Northeast and in a condo, so they regulate air condition to heat. And we got the word that they're finally going to turn off our air condition and move us into the heat phase. So that means it's cold. And when it's cold, that calls for chili. So we are making Mo's red wine chili this afternoon, getting ready for a cold, wintry week ahead. So I was going to make this on top of the stove, and I will say I prefer making my chili on top of the stove, but today we're going to make it in the crock pot because I have a nice clean kitchen and a lot of other things going on in the house, so we thought let's keep the kitchen clean and use our handy dandy slow cooker. So cheers. We are drinking a Shiraz from Australia. Thorne Clark, it's a big label down in Australia. So this is one of their Shirazes. There has been several wine tasting events at MoWino headquarters lately, and we have a lot of open bottles. So this is the perfect excuse to make chili, to put some Shiraz in the sauce. So you've seen the ingredient board, and I've prepped everything in advance because I was doing something else. Anyway, I have 2 pounds of ground beef that's already been browned and drained, so there's no grease. I'm going to put that in our crock pot. Now normally, after I would do this, if I was cooking it on the stove, I would add my red wine and let the beef simmer a bit in the wine by itself so it absorbs all of the fabulous juices. But since we're doing this in the slow cooker, we're going to add everything at the same time. So that is 1 cup of red wine. I have 2 cans of red kidney beans, not drained, not rinsed, because the gel or water that's in the kidney beans literally helps flavor the chili. And then we have 1 can of diced tomatoes. Now this is all by personal preference. You can add less beans, you can add more tomatoes, depends on what you like. I have you saw the ingredient board, it was 1 super large onion. So this is 1/2 of that onion, which is basically 1 small medium onion that has been finely chopped. Adding that to our slow cooker. I have 1 small, finely chopped green pepper that has been washed, de-seeded, and chopped. Now, I don't want celery in my chili, just something in my mind. So I minced it, but I want the flavor of the celery. So I minced 4 cloves of garlic and 2 stalks of celery. Just a personal preference thing. And also on the pepper, I don't know what it is, there's no science to it, but when I cook with red meat, I use green peppers. When I cook with white meat, such as chicken or pork, I use red peppers or orange or yellow. I don't know what it is, I always put green peppers with red meat. So that's why. So basically you could use a different pepper, but for me that's my personal preference. Then I have chili powder. I don't use those packets that say chili on them. This is 1 healthy capful. This is the end of my chili powder. So as I was saying, I don't use those packets of chili because they're just full of sodium. So it's much easier to use just plain old chili powder. But I believe one of the key ingredients of any chili, white or red, is cumin. It adds a smokiness to it. This I'm going to stir and see what our consistency is here, to liquid, to beef, to beans, to vegetables. Now, the slow cooker will add will keep the condensation in and will add liquid naturally. So I am going to let the slow cooker do its magic. And after a while, I will check in on it and see. One of the things I always do is I get the last bits out of my can. So I've put a 1/2 cup of water into my bean can, And I literally just go back and forth till I get a clean can. So, and I don't salt a lot when I cook, but it does intensify the flavors, so you should salt. So I did this off camera, but I put a few turns of my pink Himalaya salt. I think salt is a matter of taste, so I usually salt at the end of cooking, but it does enhance, so you should put a little bit of salt. And then the other thing, which is also to your personal taste buds, I have dried red pepper, and I have my favorite hot sauce, Marie Sharp's hot sauce, which is all natural, no chemicals, and it comes from Belize. Hi, Mike, my friend who makes Marie Sharp's. Anyway, I like to put a little bit, but really I save it for the table because everybody's taste buds are different. But I think a little kick in chili helps. And we're just going to give it one good stir with the salt and the hot sauce and the extra water. And yum. Live life, taste life, and enjoy it. Very important.